Hi folks, it's Elaine from Papercraft Button. Take two. I was so excited to bring you this about half an hour ago that I watched it back and most of what I done was here and you couldn't see anything. So there we go. Never mind, so here I come again because I've got nothing better to do with my time, and I promised you something for Father's Day. Now my dad, those who watched this who knew my dad knew that he was a larger than life character. He was 6'6" tall, so when he entered the room you knew he was there. Where I'm going with that is the fact that we need to use a lot of card for this. This measures, finished product is 8 inches by 3 high by 3 wide, so you can actually fit a full size can of shaving foam and a razor. For Father's Day, or obviously you can fill it with sweets, tie, socks, whatever floats your boat. Now my dad had a wash bag that because he always came on holiday with us, and he had this wash bag that he would unclip the ends and it would open like so. So I was trying to rack my brains to remember how it looked and then work out how to make it. So I was feeling so smug with myself and big-headed that I filmed this too excitedly, and yeah, the moral of that tale is yes, concentrate and yeah, take your time. So this was what I done on the video about half an hour ago, and obviously using the maritime because it was for my dad. So I'm back, and I'm not using maritime this time. I am using, it's funny, if you ever say to my son Toby, my youngest, who not that young, he'll be 20 in August, anytime I say to him, oh, pick a colour, he always picks this, Bermuda Bay. Whether it's because he actually likes Bermuda Bay or whether it's the one that he can remember the name, I'm not sure. Anyway, so there's not much scoring today, but there is, obviously, what you're going to do twice. So, 2 A4, oh, A4, yes. Now I'm thinking, okay, you'd have to just rejig, your length won't be quite 8 if you're doing it in the States. Okay, so, I didn't think about that, sorry. Anyway, onwards and upwards. On the long side, we're going to go to score at 6/8, 3/4, and then we're going to go to 3 3/4. Yeah, so if you're in America, maybe do the same, and then obviously yours is going to finish, yours will be 3/4 shorter than mine, okay? So, but that's easy enough to do it like that. Okay, so let's do both pieces on the long side. So we're going to go to 3/4 and 3 3/4. Okay, and then we're going to turn it around with that small section at the top. We're going to score at 3 all the way down, 7 1/4 and 7 6/8. So if you're in America, yours card I think finishes at 8 1/2, doesn't it? So I've just got 2 sections of 1 2 3 4, so just move yours along a little bit. Okay, so you just need 2 sections at the end of half each. There, easily sorted, see? Okay, 3 and let's move that out of the way. 7 1/4, 7 3/4. Now on this first 2 sections, we're just going to go back and do 1 score line just down to that 3 3/4 line there, and that's going to be at 5 3/4. Let's do it on this one as well, 5 3/4 down to that score line. Now just do yourself a little favour and do a little mark now, because we're going to have to do a diagonal score line. So on that second section there, we know that measures 3, so we need to mark that at halfway. So I know on this it's 2 1/4, so I'm just going to mark down so I've got somewhere to do my scoring in a moment. You can obviously mark that with a pencil, you don't need to do it like so, or I actually need that scoring tool. Okay, so let's do that scoring first. Now I haven't got a ruler out of me, so I'm going to use my bone folder. So at the moment we've got 1 2 3 4, and then it's this, so it's the second one in, third section down. We're going to do a diagonal there. I'll hold it up in a moment so you can see where.
I'm hoping my bone folder's straight. It's like Groundhog Day, honestly. I said after that a minute ago. So obviously you can make this for female as well. I mean, I'm making these for you, lovely lot, to make for Father's Day, knowing that I don't have a dad to make one for, but there we go. The holiday's still coming around regardless. They take no prisoners, these holidays. Okay, so let's do some folding. Check them in the blooming camera this time, honestly. Mind you, half an hour ago it was raining. It sounded like I was sitting in a rainmaker. Obviously I'm in the conservatory. But it's stopped now, so hopefully the dog might stop sulking now. Although I'm not taking her out because it's really wet out there. Okay, so the only one I don't want you to do anything to at the moment is that score line and that diagonal. Okay. So I started off with a black version had flashback paper, which has got like cameras and Polaroids on, which I thought was a little bit manly. And then obviously we had the maritime, and now I've got birthday basics, which I don't think I've used. Okay, so let's do some trimming. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this. Let me check. This is where I came unstuck before. I'd done it all out like that. Actually, I'm just going to go across that at a diagonal. Okay, so we're going to remove that. And then we're just going to cut up this one. And then I'm just going to go in, notch out. Just makes it a little bit tidier. Okay, and we're going to remove across the first thin section, then that first section, which is the side. We're going to trim the two narrow bits of the top off. Okay. Ooh, I didn't cut that very straight. Let me turn it over. Not that that will show anyway. Okay. So I'm going to move that little section again. I've just flipped that over in case you're wondering why it's at the other end. I was getting notched that in, wasn't I? So being as it's bank holiday, obviously it's raining. And the silver lining to that is I don't have to go and cut the grass. So if it wasn't for the fact that we've got Lucy, I'd probably get rid of the grass. But she, being the princess that she is, yes, she won't go to the toilet unless she's on grass. Which is a bit of a nightmare when you're walking around the streets, because if somebody hasn't got like a front wall and she sees a bit of grass, she tries to go in the garden. Obviously I don't let her. Okay, all right. So hopefully you can see you see the diagonal there? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to gently ease that on that score line. You do not want any crease there, okay? You want that to be nicely rounded for it to pop open and closed. Okay, and I'm just going to do the same, just lightly fold on the diagonal as well. Okay, so I'm going to put the DSP on next before I do anything else. So I measured this so you've got a slight extra bit to tuck underneath. This top flap's going to come down and stick, okay? Then that just makes the edge of your box a little bit more secure. So this measures 7 3/8 by 4 1/4, and I've done it so there's a little border all the way round. If you want to do yours right up to the edge, feel free. I do find that sometimes if it's right up to the edge, it tends to get caught and go a little bit tatty on some things when it's something 3D like this. Okay. not quite sure what that's supposed to be. No, I have no idea what that's supposed to be, that pattern. First of all, I thought it looked a bit like books, but I'm now wondering, looking at it again, whether it's supposed to be candles. Who knows? As it's birthday basics, I suppose it was more likely to be candles than it is books. All right, okay, so I'm just going to put some sticky strip along this top flap, which will become your finished edge, hence I made it so it was folded over double. I will tell you that sticky strip is retiring the 2nd of June. I shall still be using it because I have rolls and rolls and rolls of the stuff. But I shall have to bite the bullet, I think, and give Fast Fuse a little try. I do know a lot of people love it, but only once they got the hang of using it. And I think there might have been quite a bit of wastage whilst getting used to using it. But there we go. Rome wasn't built in a day, was it? There. Okay, so now we need to pop our two, no, that way, our two sections together. So I'm going to put some sticky strip. I should have brought out my wider sticky strip. The reason I've left you a 3/4 gap there is so you've got room to put a lot of wide tape on there. I'll tell you what, I'll only put one on there today for speed. I put two on the other one, I promise you. Honestly, I was too blooming excited for words, I tell you. See? I do get excited to see you, even though sometimes it's a little bit of a chore, just the thinking about it. Right. Okay, so now in theory, if I fold that end over, then that end will close and sit nicely. Oh, it's raining again now. Oh my goodness, I do apologise if it gets a little bit noisy. If the East London dulcet tones don't cover the weather, not much I can do about that. There we go. Now, because you've got two joins on each corner, it doesn't matter which one of these becomes your. I stopped looking at the camera. I do apologise if I keep going outside. It's because of where I'm sitting. When I was sitting at the table in the lounge before, I had to reach over so everything was in view. But now I'm out here, I'm sitting on a little TV table, you know, like a TV dinner table. Yeah, the things I do. But it's so much lighter out here, isn't it? So that's why. Do you know, this is just such a lovely colour, isn't it? I think Toby's got the right idea. All right, so at the moment it's just the box because you've got no creases on there. So what you're going to do is just put your finger just where your line there and then just try and ease that out. And as you ease that out, the sides will come in. Obviously this only happens, it's only stiff to start with. Yeah. She says she's completely missed her line. There we go. I was getting too rough with it. Do you know what? I don't think yeah, I didn't score that as deeply as I should have done. That's why. That's my fault because I didn't have my ruler. There we go. So obviously to start with, that's going to want to just automatically pop up. Just run your fingers up and down that crease line. What I've done with the black one, I actually put a bit of ribbon round it overnight. I left those out like that at the end. So now I've just secured a bit of ribbon to hold that in place, just so the cardboard sort of got a little bit of a memory to stay. Look at that. Beautiful. Right, okay, let's get on with the ends. So the little strap at the ends, we've got 2 pieces of card that measure 3/4 by 2 3/4. I am going to round the end of this. You don't have to. Round the corners on the end even. You have to do this by eye on your corner rounder because it's too thin and it wants to, can you see, it just wants to carry on through. So you just have to do it by eye. Okay, so I've made the length of this so it notches up, sits, nestles, there we go, that's a nice word, nestles up against that crease line, okay, and when it folds down it just fits, oh there we go, it fits there perfectly. Right, I'm just going to use one little strip of this for now, just for speed, because I thought I'd be finished by now, you see, got things to do. Well, I was finished by now, just you didn't see anything of what I was doing. I might put the other one on YouTube just so you can see it, just for a laugh. Okay, now. Alright, okay, so I'm going to use some Velcro dots on mine. I've got some really nice, they call them thin clear Velcro dots, and they are actually made by Velcro. Okay, I got mine on, in the UK I got mine from Carol's Crafts, but I do know that in the States you can get them, they've got them on Amazon and all sorts of places. So I'm going to put the white section on the strap, which is the softer part of the half of the Velcro. Partly because obviously the white is on show more, and then I'm going to use the clear, which is the stiffer bit, on the base of the box, and it's almost transparent. So I've put that one on there, and I'm going to put the other half, I'm going to Velcro them together, and then, now, just be careful when you first do this. So then just peel it up carefully, and then just pop your finger in there. Look at that, see? You can barely see it, can't you? Love it. This is little things in life, you see. Little things. Okay, let's pop that on there again. Try not to stick your hand over that too much, because obviously the natural grease on your fingers. Oh God, that's extra sticky. I do love this box, you know. Now, it doesn't matter which way, whether that goes that way or that way, it doesn't matter. And we're just going to put, to finish that off, I have some metal buttons, and I'm going to use the second size because it's got the 4 holes, which I like, and it's got like a little ring around. You don't have to put the buttons on here if you don't want to. Oh, steady, oh my word. I'm going to put 2 dots on that because it's metal. Let's make sure my holes are in the right way, else that would mess with my head. The dog's really sulking today. She hasn't got out of her bed yet because it's raining. She doesn't like the rain. She's a fair weather animal. She likes the snow, but she doesn't like the rain. And yet, poor thing didn't get to see any snow this year. There we go. So, I'm pleased to report that take 2 came out as well as take 1. And obviously my Blue Peter moment. You can see I used, yeah, look, gold. I don't even know what possessed me to buy the gold buttons, but it looks nice on the black. There we go. So, some full-size toiletries fit in that in the UK. Okay, as soon as you release that, it pops open, At least you can get your contents. Nothing worse than not being able to. So I will put a picture of the little one that I made with 1 sheet of A4. It came out about that size, by about that high. Hilarious. I thought that was no good for Man or Beast, especially Father's Day. Anyway, I'm going to fly. Lots of love. See you again some sunny day. Bye for now.